Hello, everyone. You're watching the right news, and my name is Supriya. So today I am welcoming again Mr. Ashwani Tickoo online today, and he's going to share some of his experiences today as he traveled from Air India Express. So now he will share his experience that how was the travel, how did he like it, and what was the pros and cons. So Mr. Ashwani ji, over to you.
Hi Supriyaji and hi everyone. Thank you for having me again. Since we've heard a lot about Air India Express, we heard the tragic incident which happened, and yesterday also there were reports that Air India Express uh, couldn't land in Jammu, and then again had to go back to Delhi. So today we thought of just traveling and checking out exactly how's the experience, what is the feedback. So I myself boarded a flight from Jammu to Delhi. I'm actually currently in Delhi International Airport. And if you ask me, honestly, I think majorly I couldn't see any flaws, but definitely there's something that they need to work on. you know I had booked the flight couple of days ago, and it was a sudden plan. And I happened to speak to the customer service yesterday itself. There was some queries regarding something, but I think I was not happy overall with the kind of a response that I got. That is secondary. But talking about today's experience, at the airport, uh, was there were minute details. There were something that they need to work on. Obviously we understand that there was a it's a change in the managing. It was run by government itself before. Now Tata has taken over. It will take definitely a very long time. But I think being in the market that India is, when you talk about Indigo being there at the top player, I think they just need to pull their socks off. Yeah, when we started from the we took off from Jammu. I think the air conditioning was not that great, although gradually did very well. Eventually it was functioning properly. But I think at the start it was not that great. But I need to mention another thing as well. When we talk about negativities, we can talk about positives as well. Because when I did my checking at the desk as well, I think the staff was very friendly. I had certain questions for them. And they were very kind enough to handle it. I think if you talk about the training, I think the staff are very well trained. And we're talking about Jammu. We're not talking about any metro city. But I think it was very the staff was very nice. They were patiently hearing my question, and they could actually answer me back. In fact, I asked them the question that what happened yesterday's flight. Everyone is very uncertain of traveling, because I had to travel. I didn't have any option. So they said it
Of
was
course.
just the flight couldn't land because of the wind. Now, how honest and how fair answer this was, that I leave it to Air India Express to. But I think they had a very pleasant smile, and they were not very unsure. They were very sure, and they said that it was due to the wind. It could not land, and there was no untoward incident which happened. So, but yeah, like I said, and then there was another incident that happened, wherein when we were about to deboard from the plane. This is the first time I have experienced in my life that some of the people, they already deboarded, and they told us to wait at the aircraft because the other bus is coming, which is very rare. So I think they have lot to do in terms of planning, and they have lot to do in terms of enhancing the experience of the passenger. But if you ask me, any major flaw or something which people are afraid of traveling, I don't see anything.
Oh, all right, all right. So, tell us about your experience of, how was the check-in and boarding process according to you?
Like I said, Supriyaji, I mean, you being at Jammu Airport, you don't expect much, right? Considering the kind of terminals you have, it's a small airport, and whatever challenges you face, I don't think Air India has much to do with it. It is something to do with the Airport Authority of India. Okay, but having said that, I think it was a very smooth and express check-in. Like I said, I had a lot of questions. I had some I don't want to explain in detail, because we're not here to criticize anyone. I'm just sharing my experiences. So
Of
yesterday
course.
I didn't have a very good experience with the customer service center. I had to call them, and then the same I just spoke to them. They were very kind enough. So I think my check-in process was very smooth. The girls did a very good job. There was this girl called Simran, and there was another girl called Anjali. They're very kind enough, and considering the fact that I was not happy with what happened yesterday, they actually helped me. They made me confident. And in fact, they upgraded my seat as well. So I think this is what we normally talk about when we talk about customer experience. It
Right.
is not
The
about
service you
fees.
get.
Yeah, it's more about understanding the expectations. And because in service sector you may not be able to uh, uh, live up to the expectation or probably exceed the expectation, at least live up to the expectation, but then realizing the fact and doing something to make the passenger feel good. That is something I rate them very well in that, because I think they were kind enough. And it was a very smooth check-in. There were not many people at the airport, and it was very swift and very smooth check-in for me.
Was this your first time you were traveling by the Air India Express flight?
Yeah, I normally do travel as we all through Indigo. I think this is the first time I was traveling from Air India Express. I wanted to experience it myself first time, because yesterday we heard about it, and these days there's not much good news that is coming out in the media about Air India. So
Yeah.
we need to understand the fact that it was a government-run airlines, and now Tatas have taken over. Tata's being Tata's, the kind of a legacy, Mr. Tata has, left. I'm sure it is just a matter of time, and I'm sure that they will be there in the market, and they will be competing with the best airlines.
Just in my opinion, like I just want to not ask, like I would like to discuss it with you. Do you think that Air India Express is a good option for students, or maybe it's a budget friendly travel?
I'm sorry, I'm just at the airport, so yeah, just excuse me.
No, no worries. Can I repeat? You want me to repeat that?
Yeah. So I got your question. I got your question. So you asked me that, do you think that it is a viable option, and would people travel? See,
Right.
the thing is, if
Right.
you ask me about the domestic market in India, I think it is Indigo. They are also offering good rates, but I think if you want to compete with Indigo, they have a long way to go. you know it is a mystery how being in the Indian market, such a big market, and Indigo, apart from Indigo, there's hardly anyone who's making money. But it is a very good experience, considering the fact that it is economically, it's very economic ticket, and you can just travel around in India. But competing with Indigo will be very tough, and I'm sure they will do it. Because considering what Tata is, they're everywhere, and we all know for them for what they do. Is I'm sure that they're in good hands, but I think it is a matter of time. It's a huge task which they have, but I'm sure that if you ask me personally, the question. Let me just answer your question straightforward. If you ask me, yes, definitely, it's very safe, and I think you should travel in Air India Express and Air India for that matter.
So it's a wrap up question. So any message or tip you would like to give students or maybe passengers flying for the first time?
Yeah. So, like I said, you need to first understand, what kind of a fare you're picking up. What does it include, what does not it include. There are certain Air India Express flights wherein they have this option called Air India Express Light, wherein they do not allow certain, it is just the hand baggage they allow. It's for the people who
Right.
just want to travel light, so the
Like
fares
go
are
through
very
the
less.
terms and
So once,
conditions first.
yeah. So once I'm not sure whether it gives you a pop up when you book the ticket, but I think this is a very good facility that they have provided. Wherein, if you are not traveling heavy with a lot of luggage, if you're traveling with your handbag, you can probably offer Air India Express flight, wherein you save certain money, and then that is an option that you have. And I think it is a very good option that Air India Express has given, considering the fact for the people who normally travel very often and they do not travel with a lot of luggage.
Does Jammu Airport have this self check-in option
I don't think so. So basically, I was
right now?
actually, in fact, looking for the same,
Okay.
but I think it is confined to only metro cities as of now.
Yes.
Bangalore has, I am sure for that.
Yes. Yes.
Delhi, I'm
Delhi.
not. I'm sure Delhi will also have it,
Delhi.
but
Delhi. Yes.
Jammu,
Delhi.
Definitely not. Considering the fact that it's a very small airport.
All right. It was really nice talking to you, and it was like, like I said, that the experience. I mean, you shared your experience, and I'm so glad that you took your time. And now I can only thank you, and please keep updated us about your journey. So we're gonna take a lot of live sessions with you. So
Yeah.
I
So
wish
basically, thank
you
you
a
so
safe
much
plan.
for having me. Thank you so much for having me, and I request you all also to please come out and experience the Air India, because there's a lot of fuss around. There's a lot of talks being said. There's because it's very easy to sit within the confines of your room and talk a
Right.
lot about it. But the good thing is to come out and experience it yourself firsthand. So I request each and everyone to please come out and experience it, so that a fair and constructive feedback is shared with the airline, so that they can be at par with Indigo and other airlines.
Okay, I hope everyone should plan a trip with Air India Express only, as you said. So, okay, Ashwani ji, thank you so much
Just
for
to
joining
just
us.
to add, that it's not a sponsored video. We just give you feedback. So we're not
Yes,
saying
for sure. For
so
everyone
it's not
knows
a
that. That's
sponsored.
no, it is not. Definitely, it's not. So, okay, keep updated us about your journey. Have a safe landing, and thank you so much for joining us again.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Take care.
Thank you. This is Supriya Pandita signing